So yeah, God's hand was in it. He knew I needed to go there. But I was involved in hip hop before I got saved. So once I got saved, I had to really leave hip hop altogether. I couldn't be a part of listening to music, be a part of the culture at all, because it was who I was. It was my life. It was my lifestyle. So it wasn't until a few years after that the Lord kind of brought that back in my life. I remember hearing Ambassador for the first time. I was like, wow, it kind of opened my eyes up to, what God could do with me. So I started rapping again, and before you know it, the Lord started really showing me what I was called to do, more as an evangelist. So we started doing a lot of things outside of the church, in jails, homeless shelters. We do big block parties. And so I realized that all the artists wanted to be involved in what we were doing. And so through that experience, God really has me raising up artists to be more missional, and to take their music and their call and their giftings to reach the lost.
That's awesome. So, outside of the hip-hop that you're doing, what else do you feel God calling you to do?
Well, what he's got me doing right now is a twofold thing. One is God has gifted me to speak to a non-believing audience. So he's opening doors up next week in Atlanta, the Hip Hop A3C Festival, which is a secular festival with Raekwon, Outkast, all kind of hip hop cats. So he's got me teaching a workshop on freestyle hip hop, on music. But at the same time, I'm relating that with the gospel. So he's got me speaking to a secular audience a lot, but also at the same time within the body, he's got me raising up other urban missionaries in other major cities to do what we do in Atlanta.
That's great. So how many records you got out?
Me personally, I haven't cut a record since 2004.
What? And you're still doing all this stuff for God?
Still doing all this stuff, yeah. It's crazy.
So when can we expect something new?
I don't know, man. It's really up to the Lord. Maybe next year, 2013.
So websites, any websites?
Yeah, citytakers.com. Also, you can follow me at I Am Scott Free at Twitter, Facebook, the whole nine.
Well, thanks for your time. Let's get back to Chris and Jacob over there, red carpet.
I'll come in when you're done. I'll punch in later after you leave.
Here's what happened. Bro.
All right, tell me so.
He knew that C-double-licious was the hot business in New Mexico at the time.
C-double-licious. Yeah, I understand. You were kind of trying to live out your WWF fantasies through the rap show.
I'm still trying to live out my WWE dreams. Deep. I'm still trying to be the world champion.
I flow, spin. Oh, watch me snap into you like a Slim Jim. And then you're like, oh, call me Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ooh. I was like, this is getting awkward.
Is that for real, though? Is that what happened?
I still have the debt. We'll have to dig up the debt and see what we rapped about. No, it was because later you're like, let me show you something real quick. And you pulled out some notes from your pocket. And you said, I just started writing this song called Dear Slim.
Oh, yeah, really? That could be possible.
You had a raw beat, and you had lyrics that you had to read from.
That actually is very possible. Me and C-double-licious here, washing dishes. C-double-licious, I met him back on my first tour, the first show, one of the first shows, the first tour I'd ever been to was I never even been out West Coast. I'm from Florida, so I didn't even know anything past Pensacola. And he's like, you got to try the green chili. You got to try the horchata. I'm like, is that a horse? I don't understand your Albuquerque speak. And then my life was changed by forever. And so, yeah, that was you were on a melody. Was your
melody? I was surprised you remember that.
I have an ability for the useless. I can't tell you where my car keys are right now, but I can describe what you were wearing that day.
Wow.
What was I wearing?
It was you had a headband tied around your head, and then you had a Hulkamania shirt on, but it was cut on the side. It was a half cargo shorts with actual cargo in them, and I think you had flip-flops with black socks pulled up. Maybe in my mind, that's what you wear when I don't see you. When you get your newspaper.
What's new with KJ52? What do you got?
You got a little toy poodle.
What is new with KJ? You had the album.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna see. Chris is my dude. He's one of the few people I can really. I don't take a lot of
Billy Puddles.
I don't take a lot of people to Ybor. You're one of the few people I wanted to bring.
You showed me your apartment, which is now an office building.
Now an office building. I took him where I grew up. I just did the Dangerous record. A couple months came out. I'm about to go on tour with Fireflight in a couple weeks. I'm still doing the business seminar stuff with that I used to do with people way more important than me. Just still doing shows. I did launch an online video series for young kids that want to rhyme and just basics of that. Doing the same old. Nice. Putting fanny packs with small dogs in there.
Small dogs.
What was it like working with Lecrae? You guys did the video. You guys did that whole thing. You guys did. Was that your first time working with Lecrae? Did you just call him and say, "Hey, I'm KJ52. You should know who I am"?
Actually, the great thing is you can go on Reach Records website and you fill out an online application, and you can get a Lecrae feature. It's not hard. Like, you have to find the special link, but once you've done that, it's like bam. You put in your coupon. I think they take WIC stamps. No, me and Lecrae go at least a couple years back. Actually, the first time I ever met him, he was like really grilling me on questions, very in a mean way, but he was very much like, "Why are you doing what you're doing?" And I was really respectful for that. That meant a lot for me to hear that. So we built a relationship over the years. We thought if we're going to do a song together, let's do it about something that we were both passionate about, and that's race relations in the church. And that's really where the song came from, the video. Actually, you're asking me how was it working with him? I have no idea. We weren't even there on the same set. Like,
Recorded in two
separate. No, I'm saying when we shot the video, it was two separate things. We couldn't get there on the same day. So the idea was actually his concept to put me in the hood and put him in the suburbs. So all his shots, if you notice the background, it's very suburban. Though, why is he in front of a bunch of white people playing tennis? Okay? Because white people play other sports. I'm just saying. Okay?
I've never played tennis in my life.
I couldn't even spell 30 love. But.
Oh, I played Nintendo Wii tennis, though. I get it in.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can't even touch me.
It's almost like a dance you just did. Anyway.
The
Hulkster dance.
Yeah. So when I say I was in the hood. Like, it was the Atlanta downtown.
Oh, there's graffiti behind you.
It was real graffiti.
There was real graffiti behind you, KJ.
There was real homeless people offering directorial advice while the video was going on. The guy's like, "I'm ODB's cousin. He doing that wrong." Like, that's how the video went down. Like, if you notice, there's a shot where it cuts away to a guy with shades on. Like, he was like an actual gang member, like throwing up gang signs during the video. I'm like, we're not going to put that in there. So anyway, it was a good day. It was.
Can I tell you a story, though, about gang signs?
Yes, please.
Was it with you?
I have no idea what you're about to tell, man.
I know we were with Derek at Disney World a couple of weeks ago.
No, I wasn't with you, man.
All right. So we were at Disney World a couple of weeks ago. Night of Joy, and Splash Mountain. Derek, our executive producer, he was like, "I really want all of us to get this picture on Splash Mountain." He's like, "I really want to get a picture." He was all excited about it, and so we get on Splash Mountain, and he's like, "Everybody get prepared." So we're getting ready for the drop, and I go like this. Which, if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter,
Yeah, pretty much every picture.
you'll see every picture is.
Yeah.
So I do that on Splash Mountain, and our picture was black, and we stood there literally for like 40 minutes, and our picture never came up. And they said, "Well, were you guys throwing any kind of gang signs or something?" And of course, we got censored by Mickey Mouse because I
thugged out since Cub Scouts. You're like, that's how we do. Left coast, best coast. Well, you can't come around here flashing those Albuquerque gang signs, those Franklin, Tennessee gang signs.
Is
is
that what it was?
Albuquerque to Franklin.
It's a suburb.
You're one of the few people that go with me all the way back from.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I get hooded in Albuquerque, man. I lived in a trailer park.
You wore an actual hood, like everywhere you went.
He's going in on you, man.
He's one of the few that can, though, man.
Yeah.
You did the hood with like the Cartman, where you pulled it tight and there's only your face poking out.
With the poodle and the fanny pack.
Let me ask you this, though.
Actually, the first time I met Chris, he's like, "Yo, you in Albuquerque, a.k.a. Albuquerque." I'm like, I don't get it.
It was Albuquerque, baby.
Yeah.
Or Burque.
I was like, we're in a burrito place called Sadie's. There's nothing hood about this.
Until you had their green chili, and then you started crying.
It was good. Yeah, I was crying because I knew what was going to happen later.
That was the last time KJ actually had a song on the radio,
Dude,
by the
so
way.
you did it to him, too.
Yeah.
You did it to
good
him,
stuff.
too. Nuts.
I appreciate being one of your inner circle. I also remember when you went on the Atkins diet and you told me you had protein floating in your eye. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
That's the first information he volunteers as we conduct the interview. He's like, hold on a second. All right, now I'm all right. I'll come in when you're done. I'll punch in later after you leave.
Nah, here's what happened. Here's what happened, bro.
All right, tell me so.
He knew that C-Double-licious was the hot business in New Mexico at the time.
C-Double-licious.
Yeah, I understand. Like, you were kind of trying to live out your WWF fantasies through the rap show. Is kind of what it was.
I'm still trying to live out my WWE
That's
dreams.
deep.
I'm still trying to be the world champion.
Like, I flow, spin. Oh, watch me snap into you like a Slim Jim. And then you're like, oh, call me Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Ooh.
I was like, this is getting awkward.
Is that for real though? Is that what happened?
I still have the debt. We'll have to dig out the
yeah,
debt
dig up the debt.
and see what we rapped about. It was
Yo, we are back live. It's me, at I am Jacob, and my man,
All Access.
dude, is your name All Access? Jeff Adams. The Jeff Adams, right?
That's right.
All right, and we are here. We're doing another interview. This is going on and on all day. All day, man. It's an all-day event. Have you had coffee yet?
I don't drink coffee.
You don't drink coffee? My goodness. Tell the people your name, man.
My name is Brinson from God Chasers Entertainment, Jacksonville, Florida.
What? Okay. So what is Brinson about?
Souls.
I
God
like
Chasers Entertainment
I like that.
is about the Great Commission, one soul at a time. You know what I'm saying? We put out Christ-centered music on all of our albums. We got Calls to Salvation. We don't know who hands is going to touch, who ears is going to hit.
Okay.
A soul, one soul is good for us. You know, we all about the Great Commission, man. Matthew 28.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So what are you working on right now, man? What can people work, like, tell me a little bit about your actual style musically, because
Okay.
I know everybody kind of compares rappers. They come up